Hey peeps, welcome to the Crafty Witch UK. My name is Arietta and today I wanted to share a finish with you. This is a paint by numbers that I started during a whip and chat, and it's all done now, so I wanted you guys to see the finished article and I will chat through it with you a little bit. So here she is, all done. Unfortunately I have had her rolled up, so yeah, she's just gonna weigh that image down a little bit just for a second. So this is the gorgeous moonscape kind of painting. There isn't really a lot to say. I've really enjoyed doing it. One thing that I did do that I spoke about a little bit in the video I made while I was painting this was I went not entirely, off script, but I used the guide for the paint by numbers as a guide rather than a rule book. I started off filling in all the colours as it suggested, particularly with this gradient area. And when I looked at it the next day after it had dried, I was just really not happy because it still looked very blocky. So what I did was I went back in and using the same colours, just created this gradient moving down. Just blending those blocks of colour together a little bit better than they would otherwise been if they had just been, this shape here is in this colour and then this shape here is in another colour and this shape. So yeah, it's a lot more blended than the original line work would have suggested. I just kept in mind the original artwork, sort of looking back and forth at images there to see what worked, and then again with the moon shape, just softening the edges by blending out over the lines a little bit, just to give it a softer kind of finish, if you like. I made use of, some people might see this as being a bit of a cheat, but I don't care. This is masking fluid. It's essentially kind of like a very watery liquid latex with a slight yellow pigment, which I assume is just so you can see it when it's on the paper. So what I did was I used it on all of the bits of the tree, particularly the sort of spindly areas. So covered the tree area with this, left it to dry. What that then does is create this little waterproof barrier, so I can then paint the sky and then this sort of foggy area as you go into the mountains without having to worry about the tree. I knew that the tree was going to be in the foreground. I knew it was going to be very dark in colour, so I wanted to get all of that background done first. So taking this paint by numbers canvas and then treating it a little bit more sort of like a free form artist canvas, just so that I could get the sort of finish that I was looking for, really, particularly with an image that's as simple as this. So then all you have to do once my background was dry, just take a pencil eraser, or you can use your fingers, and you just rub in little circles, and then all the latex sort of peels up in little latex boogers. It's not very pleasant, but you can peel all that off, and then that leaves you with the space to then go back in. And even though this appears here that this tree is all in one colour, there's in fact about 3, maybe 4 different shades of sort of going from a deep plum through to your blackest black. And again, when making the leaf shapes, I was guided by the drawing as it was on the canvas, but I was much more splotchy and freeform with the brush to get kind of a natural form of leaves. And the same down the bottom when it came to doing the grass area. I knew where they had drawn in longer grass versus shorter grass, but actually I went a bit freehand with that as well. And I think as long as, with this style of painting where it's very open and empty and there's lots of blending, I think these techniques of being guided but not ruled by the design is a really good idea. And what you end up with is a painting that looks much more painterly and less like a paint by numbers. I realise that some people may want to just take a paint by numbers and do it exactly as it says, and that's completely fine. You're just going to get a different finished product at the end of it. I think this one may end up going into a frame, possibly in our hallway. I'm not really sure as yet. But yeah, for now, I'm really happy with it. I will pop a link up in the eye to the original unboxing and the whip video, and then yeah, I'll put prices and things down in the description. Yeah, I would definitely do another paint by numbers in this style. I've got some much more complex paint by numbers in my stash to do, so I'll be interested to see whether I can take any of the techniques that I've kind of figured out with this one and take them into a more detailed painting. I don't know, but we will see. But I think the key to using these techniques in a way that works is you have to be able to look at the blank canvas before you started and see where everything is. Because I think I mentioned before when I was working on a previous paint by numbers canvas that it really wasn't clear what was what until you got much further into the painting. Some companies will put a very light shade of colour to break up sort of foreground and background pieces. That can help as well. But I think just don't be afraid to give it a try. Paint by numbers, certainly from this company and from several others, are incredibly affordable, and you should feel free to make them your own. Most definitely, I think. And particularly if you're planning on gifting them, then if it's something that's unique and is yours, then yeah, I'm sure that will be really appreciated by whoever you're gifting to. So yeah, so all I've got to say is a super quick little post review. I just wanted to make sure that you guys had seen this finished, because I know that I had shared it in a couple of videos previously. I am really happy with how it's turned out. I'm loving these colours, and yeah, really happy with it, and can't wait to display it. So that's all from me for today. If you enjoy my content, please do consider to leave a like, subscribe, become a member of the Crafty Coven, and I will see you in the next video. Stay crafty!